guys, it's Emily from Novelle Novels and welcome to today's videos. This is the favourite characters tag part 2. It was created by Leo from A Little Book Live and he tagged me in it. I get to talk about some really interesting characters that I love. I've tried to pick some answers of books that you guys haven't, that you wouldn't think I'm going to be predictable. I hate it when I'm predictable. Can't stand predictability. So let's see how I do. Some of the prompts on this I have found hard, so I'm really sorry if some of them are not quite as good as I would have liked. I am in a bit of a manic rush at the moment. They're still not back at school till the 8th of March, so I've kind of got to get quite a few things done when they're around and in between all my other bits and bobs, like every mum at the moment, parent. Right, so here we go. First prompt is probably my favourite prompt, and that's your favourite siblings characters. So that has to be the sisters in Little Women. Siblings are so important. My two sisters, Charlie and Vicky, are my world, and my surrogate sisters, Emma and Helen, I love them too. So the sisters in this are brilliant. They're all four so different. There's Meg, the eldest, who's the one that mother hen that looks after everybody, very organised, very sweet. Then you've got Jo, the bit of the rebel who likes writing. She does some different things. She stands up for herself quite a bit feisty. Then there's Beth. Oh, sweet Beth. Oh, I love Beth, but don't we feel sorry for her, what happens in The Good Wives? I love Beth's my heartbreaker. She's so sweet and kind. There is not a bad bone in Beth's body. Then there's Amy, the youngest, the little spoilt brat. A little bit of a madam. I do like her a lot more in the other books in the Little Women sort of series. So Jo's Boys and Little Men. I discovered a bit more about her as she gets older, and I think that as she gets older, she gets better behaved. She so badly reminds me of my little sister Vicky. But those of you that know Charlie, do you think Charlie is more like Meg or Jo? Personally, I think Charlie, even though Charlie's not the eldest, it's me that's the eldest. I think Charlie's more like Meg, and I think I'm more the rebellious Jo. But I'd love to know what you guys think about that. I did also think about having the sisters in Pride and Prejudice, the Bennet sisters, but they are so evil to Mary. There's only one sister I love in that, and that's Mary, and that's only because I read the other Bennet sister, and I read the bit of a ideas that the other way they could have portrayed Mary a bit differently, so that's why I didn't put that. Now the next one, favourite LGBTQ plus character. Now I could have picked the characters in Red, White and Boy Blue, but I didn't. I've gone for my favourite character that is definitely my favourite character, and it's Sophia from Cinderella is Dead. This is one of my all-time favourite books of last year, as you all well know. Sophia is in a world where she's supposed to be meeting her husband. She's supposed to be be a good girl and get married and stuff. Find her fairy tale prince. But she doesn't want to. She wants to be with her best friend. And they're in love. She doesn't want to be chosen. She wants to stand up for herself. Her strength and feistiness strings so... I love her in this. I think she's brilliant. Really good representation of how we should all be, how we should stand up for what we believe in and who we love, no matter what they look like, no matter what their sexuality or gender or colour or anything else. Sophia stands up for herself and I love her. She's one of my favourite characters ever, actually, if I'm being honest. Then the favourite Asian character, Keita Mori in Watchmaker of Filigree Street. I love him. He's so quirky, so funny, so different, so magical, he's so hilarious. He makes me laugh. He's got a lovely bit of magic about him. He's a Japanese immigrant, and it's just, in London and in the Victorian times. I really love him in this book, and he makes me laugh. So he automatically would string through as my favourite Asian character. The next one is a favourite Latin American character. I think Michael from the Kiss Quotidian. If not, there is a character in The Bride Test, which is a sequel to this by Helen Huang, called Juan. I love him. But I think Michael is Latin American. And the way he falls in love with Stella in the... I shouldn't have given away the game. But Stella in this, so the lead character is female, is Stella, and she's got Asperger's. She overanalyzes. But the way Michael is with her, oh my God, he really takes her for who he is. Their relationship and what happens with them is really lovely, and I loved it. Yes, so this is a very raunchy book, so don't get it if you don't like raunch and sex, because it's quite a lot of sex in this. But it's really good, and I think him or Juan from Bride Test are two brilliant male characters, Latin American characters, so I love them. So they're my answer to that. The next one, I am so sorry, I'm going to answer this the best I can, but it's a favourite African character, and I couldn't for the life of me think of one. Like I said, today I'm having to do this a bit unplanned. I'm having to do this a bit rushed video because I'm trying to fit it in amongst everything else. I think Sophia from The Secret of Birds and Bones is an African character. I hope so. If not, that's the answer I picked. And that's because she's a young, feisty character in this. And I'm pretty sure she's African. If not, I've got it wrong. I'm sorry. The next one, a main character with a disability, visible or invisible. Now, I could have gone with Harper from A Curse of Dark and Lonely. Hint to a previous prompt, that book is coming up in one of the next prompts. But I've actually gone from a character from a different book that I've recently finished. And that's Max from 1,000 Stars in You. He's got a partial leg, so his leg partially disabled, so his leg got chopped off in an accident in the war. And so he's had to really fight against his disabilities. But the way he stands up for himself and fights against the prejudices with people with disabilities really strong through with me in this book. And that was something that I loved the most about this book. And Max, the way his strength is, the way he admits that, yeah, it's been crap, it is hard. And also the fact that it does portray that there are times when he pushes himself too far. And I know for a fact that with my disability, sometimes I do push myself too far. So I think the disability rep in this is really, really good. So that's why I've gone for the answer to that. Now, the next question, an over-the-top character. I've gone for Vida Winter in The 13th Tale because I think she's quite over-the-top, quite funny, quite dramatic. But you understand why when you read the book. But that was the only answer I could think about for that. So I'm really sorry. That's my best answer for this. Favourite Victorian character. Now, I've got a million Victorian characters that I could have listed. I could have listed any of the characters in Wuthering Heights because you know that's one of my favourite books of all time. But I've gone with my favourite character. And I think, even though it's not my favourite book is of Wuthering Heights, I couldn't have picked with one of them. Because they're all quite, the whole point of Wuthering Heights is they're very dark and gothic. But I've gone for Jane Eyre, in Jane Eyre. Because her strength, her determination, her strength is just absolutely incredible. This is one of my favourite books. This is my second favourite book of all time. I thoroughly love it. I love doing the read along with Kate over last October. I love this book. I love Jane Eyre. She is everything and more. And she is the best creation that Charlotte Bronte ever did. And a character that I will forever love. Her strength, the way she fights for who she loves, her strength against her cousins at the start, when she goes from her rock bottom and claws her way back up. I thoroughly love this. She knows what love is. She knows what importance is. She is an example above and beyond her time. She's amazing. It will always be Jane Eyre. A not very believable character. So I've had to go through my books that I'm actually unhauling. And I've actually gone for Alma Whittaker in A Signature of All Things. I'm giving this book to to Gemma from Read a Book Gem. And Alma Whittaker in this, God, she just takes all the crap. She's just so wimpish and annoying, and I don't know what it is about her. She kind of like lets people walk all over her. She lets her family, her dad treated her rubbish, and she's raised in a world of luxury, but it's not when she becomes a gifted botanist. She doesn't know what sex is, and she's rude, and oh my God, she does my head in. She's not very believable, not what you'd want to be. That's my answer to that one. I struggled with that one, but I thought in the end I thought that would be quite a good one. Now, this last question, like I said, one of my favourite books of all time. I had to list one of the characters from the Curse of the Dark and Lonely series, but your favourite fictional fantasy character will always be Grey from the whole series, but I picked because he's in this more, Hearts Abyss and Broken. Grey is my favourite fantasy character. He is my book crush. He's the book. If he was alive, I would be drooling at his feet and getting turned down by him at all times. But he is my favourite character. If you read these books, if you ever read any fantasy series, obviously The Curse of Dark and Lonely, Harper was going to be my answer for the character with a disability, but I decided to be a bit different. But he will always be my favourite character. So many of you would have predicted that I would have answered that, because it is just, this series is my favourite, one of my favourite series in the whole wide world, and I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I love Grey. He'd be turning me down at every opportunity because he is the most gorgeous, sounds like the most gorgeous character I've ever read about in my whole life, and I will always have the biggest crush on Gray. Sorry, Chris, you're second place to Gray. Now, the answer is to tag people. So I'm trying to tag some people I haven't tagged for a while. I'm trying to be a bit more diverse, because I keep thinking when I'm always going to tag people, I always tag the same people. But if I have not tagged you, don't worry, and you want to do it, please do it. It's a brilliant fun tag to do and quite easy. First one is, I'll tag it's Ange from Ange with me. Can't remember if you've done this, darling, but if you haven't, I'd love to see you do it. Bernard from Burnish Vicky's Adventures. I've not tagged you in a while, so you're tagged. Kat from Brews and Reviews. Kat, you would be amazing at this. I think this would be a brilliant tag for you to do. Please, please, please do it, Kat. I think it would be hilarious. Melissa at Fully Booked. And then lastly, Nell and Scott from Gunpowder Picture and Plot. I don't think you guys have done this, but I think you would be brilliant at it. And I would love to see the way you two answer it differently, because I know that you'd both give different answers. So this would be fun. And it's also getting revenge, because I'm going to start tagging you guys a bit more. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.